I'm Jesse.
I'm Dallas.
I'm Demi.
I'm Colin.
We're the Reshoots, and these are our guests, Demi and Colin.
So, Demi, this one here, she's our director. She directs everything.
Every episode of our review show that you guys have seen so far, and our last podcast, which hopefully by now they've seen.
Hopefully.
And this is Colin.
Hi.
You know Colin. Duck McGuck.
Duck McGuck. As he's affectionately called by his closest loved ones.
Colin, you're never going to live it down.
Alright,
We told you.
That was too good. How did none of us know that his Twitter handle was Duck
I knew
McGuck?
he had a Twitter.
How long have we known you? How long have we known him? 10 years?
I've known
11
you
years?
since we were 13, but we haven't been. We became friends when we were 15.
How long has Twitter been around
How
for?
long have you had a Twitter?
I started when I was a junior in high school, so.
maybe like 2-3 years.
Wow.
Well, I've known that he's
Still.
had a Twitter, but he told me it wasn't interesting to follow. So.
Right, it's only
I
Duck
didn't-
McGuck.
So I didn't. He didn't tell me what the username was.
Inherently
I don't
interesting.
understand how we all went. This is like us not knowing that Transformers have been here since the dinosaur ages. I don't understand how that information got past us for this long.
I knew that he had a Twitter. I just never asked for the username.
There was a society of people hiding his
There's
Twitter from us.
There's an Illuminati specifically for
For his Twitter.
The Duck
the
McGuckets.
McGuckanati.
For the record, as soon as we all found out what his Twitter handle was, he blocked every single one of us.
He did.
All of us.
Because he loves us.
Yes, that's love right there.
I got him to unblock me.
What?
And blackmail, but we'll have to discuss that off camera. I'm sure he doesn't
I
want
didn't
to
know
tell
about
you.
this.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you guys later.
Oh, okay.
If he lets me, he might kill me.
We'll think about
He
it.
already killed Gabby to take her place.
Sure.
You can't keep killing off our reshoot
I mean,
team, Colin.
Just gonna put that out there, like.
I mean,
Snitching. So what's first?
okay, so I guess, anyway, this is basically what this show is. Because we didn't really establish this last
It's a
time.
podcast.
We did go through the weekly news last time, but we didn't establish that that's what we're going to be doing.
Hopefully.
So basically, it's going to be like our weekly news recap, all the news and like pop culture-y stuff.
Yeah.
I think we should throw down like a soft rule and no religion, no politics. But I don't think, like, we can't promise that we're going to hold true to that.
I mean, yeah, if
Just like a soft, probably not.
I mean, some shows
Religion or
deal
politics?
with religion and politics, so.
I mean, sure.
if they make a Passion of the Christ 2, we don't have to talk about it.
How do they do that?
Jesus strikes back. I don't know.
The resurrection.
Yeah. Or just it'd be like a Nicolas Cage apocalypse story. You know, just the rapture.
Wasn't that
story.
knowing?
Left
No,
behind?
left behind.
Yeah, but there
Both.
was knowing.
Technically, yeah. Well, was knowing angels or was it aliens?
We said it was. We don't know.
They're kind of.
We said it was both.
I thought that movie was gonna be awesome until the last 10 minutes.
You're the
It
one who
could've
took
been awesome.
me to see
I
it.
know, because I was like, just we need to leave before the last 10 minutes, and that'll be an awesome movie. Hasn't aged well though.
I bet I haven't seen it since we saw it in theaters.
My dad owns it. I don't know why.
How did we end up talking about Nicolas Cage movie?
Why are we not talking about
had
Nicolas Cage
topics.
movies more often?
You brought up Passion of the Christ
I'm
too.
sorry.
we
Yeah,
should.
movie. All right.
So our first topic
Yes.
is the big story. Literally everyone has talked us to death, but we're going to do it too.
We have to.
Lord and Miller have exited the Han Solo movie, and Ron Howard has taken over.
Dude.
How do we feel about this?
Dallas has no opinion because he's not a Star Wars fan.
That's not fair.
It's not fair that you're not a Star Wars fan.
Shut up. I love the Lego movie, so I'm a fan of Lord and Miller. But that's as far as my caring about this guy.
Well, you've seen the Jump Street movies?
Oh yeah, I've seen 21 Jump Street,
They
so I like
directed
that
that
too.
one.
Both
So
of those were great.
I'm a fan and a half of Lord
But
and
did
Miller.
you want that in a Han Solo movie? Han Solo, by the way, is the smuggler from the Star Wars.
I know who
movies.
he
Played by
is.
Harrison
He's played by
Ford.
Harrison Ford,
Wait.
one of the most iconic characters in
Oh,
cinematic
use the
history.
Force? No.
No,
Force
wrong
me.
one.
He does say that.
I'm your
I said,
father.
may the Force be with you.
Yeah, he's,
Thought he didn't believe in it.
He doesn't.
He
Well,
doesn't
he
until-
didn't until 7.
Yeah,
He's a Force.
it's true.
Maybe
All of
6.
it.
He might have believed by 6.
Well, I think by the end of 4 he believes it, right? That's why he says
He's the old one who dies in the 7th movie.
I know who he is.
Well,
guys.
that's a head in the corner of the
I was
table,
literally
Dallas.
trying
He's
to
right
avoid
there.
saying spoiler alert.
I know
They
who
killed
he
him.
is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
come
do a spoiler
on.
for a movie that everyone's seen that came out 2 years ago.
Oh, it's the
hope
most popular
everybody's
movie of
seen
all
it.
time.
There are some people who have not seen it though.
Fine, there's some people who... I can't think of a proper analogy, but there are.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, so, Demi,
Yes.
Yeah.
You're the
how do
Star
you
Wars
feel
fan.
about this as the only sane person at this table?
As a huge Star Wars fan since I was like 9, so when I read the news, I thought it was kind of ridiculous. Stop stroking the stormtrooper.
No.
I thought it was kind of ridiculous when I first read the news, when I read the headline, because like you go through pre-production for God knows how long, which should be the first
For,
sign.
what, about 5 months now? Right?
Well, that's production. We're talking pre-production, which is when they're planning the entire film, doing concept art and everything that has to go into filming. Like, you would think that you would figure out by that point, our visions don't match up, so we should probably find somebody else. And then you go through 5 months of production, and you guys still haven't figured out, this isn't working out. So, I mean, it's ridiculous, and I think it's probably the most ridiculous story that we've ever seen in, like, film history.
It's never happened
when
before.
it comes to directors being replaced. Am I upset that Lord and Miller are no longer directing? I can't say that I am, because I had not seen the Lego movie until a couple of months ago, which I think it's a great movie, and I was excited that they were directing after I saw the movie. But at the same time, because Disney and Lucasfilm are saying that they were having vision differences,
Creative differences?
Yeah, I was having, creative differences. I think I've read somewhere that it was the vision in particular of where the film was good.
Which I'm sure it is, but isn't that like the first thing you discuss when you're hiring somebody to do your movie?
Well, that's the first thing you think about as a director is the vision of the film. Nothing in the film works unless you have a vision for it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Kathleen Kennedy goes to Lord and Miller and goes, hey, what do you want to do with the movie? The first sentence out of their mouths after that is, here's what we want to do. We want to make it a screwball comedy or whatever.
Yeah, and you would think that they would have realized by then. My assumption is that maybe Kennedy thought that they could work out, that their two visions could somehow collide and come together, and it just did not mesh. And so she finally had enough and was like, this isn't working, and we have to get rid of you. But I think part of me is like sad that we saw 2 really creative directors who are also very good directors, like they're gone now. But the other part of me was worried that because they're saying that it was a creative difference and that it was a vision difference, that they were trying too much to make it Lego Movie or 21 Jump Street, but with Han Solo. And that, to me, is not Han Solo. That's too much physical comedy, too much silly comedy. Whereas Han Solo is not a silly character. He's a very snarky, very sarcastic, dry humor type of character. So going very obvious doesn't work, in my opinion. So if that's what happened, then I'm glad that Disney made that call.
Colin, what do you think is more likely? Do you think Lord and Miller were going too far with the comedy aspects, trying to take it in a direction that none of us want to see it go? Or with Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm just having too tight of a grip and not letting them be creative?
I would assume it was Lucasfilm having too tight of a grip because Disney has many money makers. They make so much money, it's ridiculous. But this is their main money maker, and this is probably the most popular movie franchise of all time. They are going to have a very tight grip, a very strong idea of this is how we want it to be. And I think if you deviate from that, they will get rid of you because they know how they want these movies to be. They think this is the way they're going to make the most money. That's what I think it is that Kathleen Kennedy and whoever else said, all right, this is what we want this movie to be. And maybe Lord and Miller were okay with that at first. And then maybe as production went on, they had more and more crazy ideas, and that was not vibing, and so they got booted.
Well, the question is, though, do you expect anything different? It's a Han Solo movie. Like, people are already worried about the fact that they're making a Han Solo movie, and the fact that he's probably one of the most iconic characters in the Star Wars universe.
I never wanted a Han Solo movie.
Nobody wanted a Han Solo movie, but nobody needs one.
The whole point of these spin-off, or these anthology films, or whatever the hell they're calling them now, was to be different. And my one complaint about Rogue One, which is a movie I loved, that it wasn't different enough. It still kind of felt like a Star Wars movie.
But I think, the reason why I think they're having such a tight grip on it, not only because of Star Wars, but because these Star Wars stories are so fresh and they're so brand new and nobody's done them before, that they are so afraid of messing up within these first few Star Wars films, or these first Star Wars stories, that if they mess up one, that's it.
Here's the thing, though, my thing is, what does it mean to mess up when you don't have, because the template right now is stories about the Skywalker family.
That's the saga.
Well, yes, but that's all we have right now, except for Rogue One. So, what do they mess up? Like, what does it mean to mess up? If you're trying something completely new, is it like it doesn't feel like Star Wars? Well, what does Star Wars feel like if it's not about the Skywalkers? We don't know
I would think mess up just means you made a bad movie.
don't.
Yeah, I feel like they just don't want to make a bad movie. And with Han Solo, that's so easy to do. Han Solo is so loved by so many people, and it's so easy for people to just mess up Han Solo. And that's something that I think they are desperately trying to avoid.
Dallas.
So I had a thought when you said messing up a movie. Before Force Awakens, the general consensus was they messed up half their movies, right?
Right.
So they recovered really well from that.
Well,
everyone saw Force Awakens.
But
that's my point. Now, do you have to have such a tight control on Star Wars?
I feel like
because
you
it's
don't,
Star Wars.
because You can do whatever you want. People are gonna come to see the movie.
That's what I'm thinking. Isn't that
So-
You can, but at the same time, though, if they keep making bad Star Wars movies, then they're just going to lose their audience completely. Nobody.
They made 3 really
I don't know
bad
if they
Star Wars
can.
movies.
George
though.
Lucas made 3 really
Well,
bad
but
Star
the point
Wars
is there were
movies.
3 bad
There were
Star Wars
3 really
movies,
bad
and
ones.
Star Wars survived.
But let's remember, though, Star Wars Episode 7 was coming under a new creative team. Somebody else was in charge. Everybody's going to be interested. And it had been how long since we had had a Star Wars movie? The excitement was up. But now that Disney is now planning to make a Star Wars movie every year for as long as we know.
The sun devours the earth.
Yes, until the world ends, we will probably have a Star Wars movie every
About
year.
8 years or so.
I feel like if they keep making bad ones, eventually we're just going to go like, all right, we're done. I'm not watching Star Wars anymore.
Right, but can't they survive? Let's say the Han Solo movie's bad. Force Awakens wasn't. Rogue One wasn't. Last Jedi probably won't
Force
be.
Awakens had, but a lot of people have their
Fine,
problems with
sure,
Force Awakens.
absolutely. But
No,
isn't this a franchise that could? Yeah, isn't this a franchise that can survive one bad movie?
It can, but do you want them to make a bad Star Wars
problem is,
movie?
what? That's a question that I've been having, and the problem I have with the anthologies movies is, what is this franchise if the Skywalkers aren't in it? Right now, it's nothing. There's nothing, no movies that don't connect to the Skywalkers at all.
And that's my problem with the Star Wars
That's
stories
what
right
I
now.
want. I want, like,
Yeah.
give me a Boba Fett movie that has nothing to do with the Skywalkers. Give me a movie about a Hutt out somewhere in
not
Nalhutta
Zero.
doing nothing that has to do with the Skywalkers. That's what I want, and I feel like they're too scared to do that.
Well, what I said when Rogue One was about to come out, and I remember I told both of you guys, was that the real test for a Star Wars story is going to be when they finally make a Star Wars story movie that is in no association with the Galactic War, with anybody that we know, with any planet that we know, that is completely fresh, with characters that we've never seen who are not attached to any other characters that we've ever seen.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And to answer your earlier question, I would rather have a bad Star Wars movie that tried to do something different, a la the prequels, than a bad Star Wars movie that tried to be the same, a la The Hobbits.
Well, I also would rather them try to do it right.
Well, sure, I know, but there needs to be a balance. My big takeaway is I don't know whose side I'm on. I'm honestly probably, if I had to choose a side, I'm probably Lucasfilm side. But the fact that this is kind of the first big screw up of the new Lucasfilm order. Kathleen Kennedy has been my hero since she took over. She's made nothing but great decisions, and then this happened. Yeah, so between this and Colin Trevorrow's latest movie not doing so hot, based on the critics' reviews,
Trevorrow's, yeah.
do we think last thoughts on this topic? Number one, Book of Henry.
Oh God.
Yes,
Yeah.
apparently it's not good.
Yeah.
Which upsets me because I love Jacob Tremblay.
I do love Jacob Tremblay, but I did not love Jurassic World.
I liked Jurassic World. I can't say I loved it, but I did like it.
How did you guys feel about
I
it?
love Jurassic World. I had so much fun.
I enjoyed it.
I was not really a fan.
I had also only seen one Jurassic Park movie before that, though, so let's just keep that in mind.
The Jurassic Park movie?
Just- Good one.
Comparing the two. Anyway, okay, so last thought between the Han Solo news, Colin Trevorrow, scale of 1 to 10, do we think Star Wars is in trouble?
Like how much trouble on the scale?
Yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh.
How worried are we about the future of Star Wars on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'm not worried at all.
No?
I'm not worried. I'm not.
Colin?
I'm not really worried because I feel like, let's say Colin Trevorrow, however you say his name, if
I don't think he knows.
he,
It's like Gal Gadot.
so yeah, Book of Henry
That's
was
how
a
you say
flop.
hers.
But if he were a bad director, I think they would get rid of him too, and they haven't. So
Yeah, well, they might wait until 3 weeks before they're done with production to do that.
they can
Well,
do that. But the
Ryan
point
Johnson
is,
didn't have a
like,
problem.
It's because that's Ryan Johnson.
I feel like they're fine. I feel like whatever they do, they will find a way to right the ship, even if that means they have to keep getting rid of people. I think
Like the Flash.
obviously they're going to devote everything they have to making Star Wars successful. So no, I don't think it's in trouble.
Dallas, is Lucasfilm about to become the next Warner Brothers?
Nothing can become that bad.
Oh no. Yeah, my apathy won't let me be worried, but
Good to know.
just given the information, they'll be fine.
In other news, we have our first image from Deadpool 2. Ryan Reynolds
Yay!
Instagrammed
Instagram.
a picture of himself presumably himself in the Deadpool costume. I don't think anyone else is allowed to wear that costume.
It could be CGI.
I
No,
don't
Taylor
think-
Swift wore it.
Did she the official Deadpool costume?
I think so. I think he
I did
loaned.
not hear about
I think he loaned it to her
For Halloween?
For Halloween.
Yeah,
she was
she's
Deadpool
like,
for
"Oh,
Halloween,
man gave me the thing."
and he gave her the costume to wear for Halloween.
Kinky. Anyway, he tweeted a picture of himself lying in front of the expansion, along with a tagline that he's apparently deleted now, but said something about no one was effing home, which was hilarious, but not when I say it.
You're
Dallas,
censoring yourself now.
as the I don't know, it just came out. As the resident Deadpool expert, how do you feel about our first look at Deadpool 2?
I'm super excited. This is the movie I've been most excited for since Deadpool 1. The fact that the picture is a reference to the Spider-Man poster makes me even more excited.
I did notice that.
Yes, I'm sure you did. It's almost as if I told you. Because, Spider-Man and Deadpool are my two favorite heroes, along with Black Panther. So just...
They're my two favorite heroes, along with Black Panther.
Yeah.
So Deadpool, Spider-Man, and Black Panther are your two favorite heroes?
Pretty much.
All right.
It's Deadpool and then Spider-Man and Black Panther.
Okay.
They're
Yeah.
half and half. They
Yeah.
share a spot.
Half Spider, half Panther.
Black Spider.
Black Spider.
I said Black Spider, I think it's a DC
Panther
character.
Man.
Panther Man, that's something.
That could be cool.
That'd be me.
Panther Man?
Yeah, if I'm a superhero.
Panther Man can, cause he mixes it.
Why didn't you just go to Spider-Man song? What are we talking about? It's a picture. It's a picture, yes. So yes, I'm happy.
All right.
Great picture. Great movie, hopefully.
Colin, what are your
Colin.
expectations for Deadpool 2?
I mean, Deadpool 1 was hilarious. And is it the same writing team?
I think it's
I think the writing team is
So different director.
same
though.
writing team, different
Different
director, I believe.
director.
The guy who did John Wick. One of the guys who
Which-
did John Wick.
And he's doing
Yes.
Atomic Blonde.
And is doing Atomic Blonde.
Okay, that's cool. So the action will be good. But, I mean, if it's the same writing team, then I'm sure it'll be fine. Ryan
Well-
Reynolds obviously seems very invested. So,
The writing team, I think, is Ryan Reynolds. At least for the
Honestly.
Deadpool parts.
you
Good.
can tell me
So-
that, and that's fine. Like, if he
That's
wrote
what
the
I
first
want.
movie, I'd be like, all right, let's go.
I mean, I feel like he basically did. That was Ryan Reynolds.
Sure, he had a lot
the
of
first
say
one.
in it.
He definitely had a lot
Yeah.
of creative say in it. He probably didn't write it word for word. but
obviously,
he definitely
but-
was like, I want this.
Basically, I'm sure he wrote most of his own dialogue, at least.
He improvised, probably.
To me.
I'm stoked. I really like Deadpool. I had no experience with Deadpool except for whatever Dallas would tell me before the first Deadpool movie came out, when we would sit around the theater and talk about comic book characters all the time. But yeah, I'm excited. I think Ryan Reynolds does an excellent job with Deadpool, because Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds and Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
Basically.
So I mean, he's Deadpool's. I'm sorry, Dallas. He's Deadpool's biggest fan. So
I mean, yeah, he's the same person. He's
You're
from
like-
Canada. He's the same height.
yeah, you're like second place.
He was
So
born to play
that.
Green Lantern.
we don't talk about that. I still haven't even seen that movie, but I'm not going
Me
to.
either. I actually haven't
I
seen
did,
it.
actually.
It's okay.
Sorry.
From the people who brought you Arrow.
As a rule, actually, I don't like R-rated comedies, usually. I feel like they're too easy. Maybe I'm just too sensitive. I don't know. But I feel like with R-rated comedies, some of the jokes are very... It's just crass for the sake of crass kind of thing.
It's just
But Deadpool
lewd.
2 was awesome.
Deadpool 1.
Yes, Deadpool 1 was awesome. Deadpool 2, Deadpool also was awesome.
Deadpool was also awesome.
As well, was
Oh,
awesome.
Deadpool TOO. Is that how you?
Deadpool TOO
That's
was
how he's gonna cover
awesome.
that up.
That's right.
Good job. It's a little sloppy. Yeah,
Grammar.
I think this one's great because it's not just a comedy. It's also an action movie. And it doesn't lean on the same kind of just crass jokes. Even though there are a good
But they
amount.
worked, but they weren't there just for the sake of it. I
Right.
feel like they worked with the comedy. They were
They work
smart.
with Deadpool, yeah.
Yeah, it was smartly done. I did appreciate that. Like the hand.
Don't. Like KFC Sport. Let's talk about the movie though. Deadpool 2. It
Deadpool
has Josh Brolin,
Does.
aka
Thanos.
Thanos.
Yeah.
AKA
Which-
Cable now.
AKA Cable.
Yes.
Those can never cross over.
I wanted Ron Perlman.
Not Sling. You're not
What?
going with Steve
Oh,
Sling.
Stephen
Lang.
You're not going.
I was
Sling.
fine with him too. Those are my
Right.
two top choices.
Ron Perlman is that's a really
He's
good
great.
choice.
He's just so awesome.
And also, I was decently a fan of the Brad Pitt rumor that was going around too. Brad Pitt.
I didn't even hear about that.
That was one of the later ones, right before
Everyone
Josh
with a
Brolin.
square-shaped head was in the running.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Or-
if he played it like Aldo Rain, I'd be down for it. I'd be so down for it.
I mean, he looks good gray, so I mean, he could
Deadpool.
Pull it
he
off.
could pull it off. He was
Alright, but
he was
dirty.
the rumor before
Exactly.
Josh Brolin, I think.
Wow.
Was official.
But yeah, Josh Brolin's good.
I think was Josh.
He's
Josh
good actor.
Brolin wasn't even a rumor.
He wasn't a rumor.
No, he was not a name on the list at
Neither
all.
was Zazie Beetz before she got cast.
Did they have these
But
domino?
Zazie Beetz at
They
least
did.
is a lesser-known actress.
Before Zazie, it was Kerry Washington,
Wow.
and I think Janelle Monáe was also.
Yeah.
They were
Oh yeah, I did hear about
Yeah,
that.
they were
I did hear
definitely
about that.
looking at women of color for the part of Domino, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
I'm gonna
Then,
put her in whiteface.
I don't think so. I feel
Well,
like
for
they're
the
just,
star, at least.
I feel like they're just gonna reverse it. I feel like they can just like make her like black paint, but with a white dot. I mean, cause what? She's only called
Maybe.
Domino because she looks like a domino. You can have black dominoes. That's not weird.
True. You could do that.
You could have red dominoes for all I care. Like, it's not weird. You could do it.
It would be an interesting look. Just
Boss-
black face. No,
yeah.
black face.
Well, boss,
Not black face. A black face. A black face.
Boss Logic, who shout out to Boss Logic, he's one of my favorite like Photoshop guys who does like digital posters and stuff for like all the fandoms that he's really into. He did one for Kerry Washington as with her as
You
Domino,
showed me that one.
and that was how I was like, oh well, yeah, you can do Domino as
Nice.
a black woman, it'd be perfectly fine. Just gotta reverse it.
I mean, she's a mutant, so it doesn't really matter as far as what her actual race is.
Yeah.
Because all we've seen of Domino, in the comics-wise, is she has a white face and a black
And a
spot.
black spot.
Mm-hmm.
So
over it.
ethnically, it doesn't matter. It's separate to it.
Although
It's
I think
cool.
I think people would be pissed if they put her in like white makeup.
I mean, I wouldn't just because
You wouldn't, but I'm pretty sure there are plenty of people out
I
there.
think I
who-
asked you one time, like,
her face is white.
completely unrelated, but if you ever cast a black person as the Joker,
No, you didn't ask me that one.
what do you
What do you do?
People would riot.
but like what
Exactly.
do you do?
Burn the place down. Oh, you're talking about the face thing.
Yeah,
Because
make-
his skin is bleached white.
Well, not in the Dark Knight.
Not in the Dark Knight, but that was a different Joker. Typically, the Joker's skin is the color
I was
white.
saying if
There-
Christopher
there-
Nolan could
wait.
just put makeup on his face.
There are now 3 Jokers in Rebirth, so I can just choose which Joker I want and look at the
Goodness
backstory.
gracious.
Saying.
If they're not all bleached, just go with that.
But that's off topic.
It is. But yeah,
You think
Zazie Beats. Zazie Beats.
Zazie.
Zazie, I think, is how we're going.
We apologize
Or
for
Zazie.
mispronouncing
Zazie.
her
So
name.
sorry. We tried to look up how to
Believe
say her
it's
name.
Zazie.
We looked up interviews and we couldn't find any.
Especially
in which
since
she says her name.
most of us, if not all of us, are really big fans of Atlanta.
Yes,
Absolutely.
I'm super excited
Yeah.
that she got this role. I just really wish I knew how to say her name. Miss Beats, if you're watching, please let us know how to say your name.
Henceforth known as Domino.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Van from Atlanta, you're great. I'm excited for her to be Domino because the dynamic between Deadpool and Domino, and I apologize for all that alliteration,
The dynamic between Deadpool and Domino
Netflix.
is
is damn good.
yes.
Yes.
I was looking for something. I love it.
Delightful.
I love it. It is decidedly delightful.
Decidedly
tune.
delightful.
You were darn right. I was going somewhere.
To me, how do you feel about this?
To me,
Dallas?
What, the casting?
just bouncing around. But yeah, it's really good. Because Domino is kind of just like, Deadpool, I don't have time for your nonsense right now, but you're really good at what you do, and I kind of need to be here. And I just can't wait for that. Because she does such a good job on Atlanta of when she talks to Ernest,
And she doesn't
she's
wanna
just
deal
like,
with his
I don't have
crap.
time for this right now, but fine. And I just can't wait for that with Ryan Reynolds.
That'll be fun.
It's going to be lovely.
Do you think we're getting any X-Men in this movie? Besides Colossus and Negasonic. Negasonic, young adult warhead?
Why
Do you
would you
think-
tease the mansion if not to imply that there will be more X-Men?
More mutant. Do you think that they're going to finally make
mean-
Miranda Baccarin's character into the mutant that she's supposed to
I
be?
hope so.
Possibly.
I want her to be a mutant so bad because it gives her more of a reason
To
to
be
be
around.
there as far as just not the damsel in distress. Also, this is going back, but there's a line in the first Deadpool trailer when she says, I've played a lot of roles, damsel in
Damsel's
distress
one
is
of them.
not one of them, and they cut that out of the movie. And I thought that was a reference to her being copycat because her mutant power
It's
is
a
right.
she's a
That's a good one.
shapeshifter. She can,
Yeah.
she's basically like a better version of Mystique because she can take your
I
powers
think
too.
Jennifer Lawrence will be in Deadpool too.
No, she barely wants
She
to be
better
an
not
X-Men.
be.
She's coming back for Dark Phoenix.
They must have
I
came
don't-
up with a good deal.
I guess so.
I don't care. But if we have copycat, we don't need Mystique, and that's the whole point. And Miranda Baccarin was great.
She was.
She was
Yeah,
fantastic.
I've been a fan of
So I
Miranda.
want
the
more of
very
her.
few superhero love interests that I care about.
And yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
And we can get the rest of the X-Men if she's in it. She can just turn into them.
That's
So-
true.
Wow.
Does she turn into James McAvoy or Patrick Stewart? These timelines are so confusing.
They are. And it's just every question that we raise, I feel like Deadpool's gonna have a joke about in the movie.
I want her to turn into Patrick Stewart from Logan.
Oh god.
I want the liver spotted, the hair growing out, the F-bomb dropping.
I want to turn
Stewart.
into Logan.
That'd be
Yeah,
great.
Yes.
that'd be fun. That's
I
how they
think-
bring Hugh
I
Jackman
do.
back.
I guarantee there's going to be a Hugh Jackman cameo. Maybe not a Wolverine cameo,
But
But
Hugh
but a Hugh
Jackman.
Jackman cameo. As in not like a paper taped to his face.
Right,
or
like he's
taped to his
actually
face.
there.
Like
Like
Hugh
he-
Jackman is going to show up. Maybe as Hugh Jackman, which would be hilarious. He just shows up like, hello, mate. You know?
No, man, you're Wolverine.
Yeah, hey, you look familiar or something. Logan?
I can't
What are
wait.
you talking about?
Also, it's gonna have to be a reference to Josh Brolin being Thanos.
I'm sure there will be, yeah.
It's gonna be something.
He looked less purple than the last
Well,
one
I
I
guess
saw.
you can reference it.
Is
in
Infinity
the
Wars
other
coming out
one.
before Deadpool 2, right?
Is it? I
I
don't know.
believe so. When does
Infinity
Deadpool come
War
out?
is
Next
All I know is it's 2019.
Oh, Lord.
No, is it 2018?
Yeah.
Which?
We're there already. Infinity
War.
War.
Or Deadpool
Infinity War is
Infinity
next
War.
May.
is next May. Yes.
Oh,
already
right.
there.
Sorry, part 2 is 2019.
Yeah.
That's right.
So I think Deadpool 2 is coming out afterwards. So we will have already seen
Oh, yeah.
Josh Brolin
So yeah,
as
they can make the
Thanos.
joke.
And even not, he's been Thanos before, so
Yes, that
Yeah,
is
sure.
true.
like enough for him to make a reference.
Barely, but yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited. Speaking of the Marvel Cinematic Universe,
Venom!
is he in
I'm
it?
excited.
Is he not in it?
I think you're the only one who's excited.
I'm
mean,
excited for Venom to
I'm
be in a
intrigued.
movie that I don't think will suck because Tom Hardy's great. He looks like Eddie Brock. He's a big white dude. And he's not Topher Grace. These are all reasons I think he's going to be a great Venom. And he's great at being crazy.
That's true.
I maintain that. If you've seen the movie Bronson with Tom Hardy, there's a scene where he just paints himself black. And that is Venom. Just a big, scary guy painted black. So I
Paint his
think...
face black?
Wow, let's not go there.
We started...
He brought it up.
We're not going to go back there.
Wait, what's the black? You're not going back?
Wow.
That's why we can't go back.
That's why we can't go back. But yeah, also Venom's one of my favorite villains.
So does this game take place in the Mushroom Kingdom, or are we in a weird, just regular New York-looking
New
place?
Donk City.
Is that what it's called?
Amazing. New Donk City.
Okay.
I love it. I'm so happy. So, okay.
Wait.
So the way it works is it's kind of like
Explain it to them.
a lot of other Mario games where you have different levels, and they are different places, and you go to those places and you find things in those places, yada yada. It's more like Super Mario 64 where you jumped into paintings, and each painting was a separate world.
Oh,
It's
nice.
like that. So the city that you saw is one level. So
Oh,
at
okay.
the demo they had two levels.
Thank
could
you,
do
'cause
the
that scared
city,
me.
Or you could do like a desert. And it's kind of open world where once you go in the level, they don't have like a path to follow. You just go wherever you want. You find things. You will get like objectives, but you just go wherever you want. You find whatever you want. It's pretty freeform.
Nice.
Well, that's good because that the first, I don't know, good chunk of that trailer takes place in this city, and I didn't know what the hell was going on because it looks like a normal city. There are normal sized,
and
normal
that's
proportion
the
people walking
problem
around
is
the
that
city.
The big thing about the game
Yeah,
that is
I don't-
freaking people out is that the whole new mechanic in the game is that you can do stuff with Mario's hat,
I did say that too.
but you can possess things and people.
Have you heard the theory
That the head is possessing him.
that Mario himself is just
and
possessed?
I would
Yeah.
believe it because literally
He's just a
I was
regular
playing
plumber who
the
got
game,
possessed one day.
and there was a portion where I possessed a human person to then control a
Ooh.
remote control car. It's terrifying, but it's
Goodness
fun.
gracious.
And I mean,
It's fun, though.
I can't speak to how the game will be, but I know it will play well because that is the one thing Nintendo always does really well is that they test their games more than anybody else does. Their games are always mechanically sound. Like playing them just feels really good. Whether or not the games are good, you know, but playing them always feels good. So I'm excited for that.
What's your most excited, like, what are you most excited about for games in general? It's coming out.
Most excited for that's coming out like anytime in the next,
Anytime at all.
Something that you saw at E3.
probably Destiny 2.
No.
I have a long, complicated history with Destiny. It's when I'm playing it, it's a great game. When I'm not playing it,
Don't we
I kind
all?
of hate it. I love the universe. I love what Bungie did with it. And the second game, Bungie is really good about listening to their community and listening to what the community wants. And so with the second game, they've really come out and said, all right, the story is actually going to matter this time. There's going to be more of the things that you wanted. There'll be more people to talk to. It won't be so empty. Like I already paid $100 to pre-order the game. I played 10 minutes of it. I'm set. I'm good. I'm gonna buy
He's
it.
good to go.
I had to count my pennies to buy a burrito at Taco Bell. This guy's spending $300 on video
I
games.
feel like all of your money goes to video games.
No,
or
it doesn't.
something video game related.
Harry Potter stuff as well.
A lot of
Can
it.
you imagine if they come out with a decent Harry Potter video game? We'll never see it
Other
again.
than the Lego games?
Lego games are Lego video games that are have a Harry Potter skin over them. I'm talking an actual legit Harry Potter game.
I would argue that some of the early ones were good. When
Quidditch
I was
World
like
Cup was
11.
fun.
You can argue.
You could argue. Jesse, what's your most anticipated game?
I'm gonna save mine. Dallas, did you see any of the trailers at E3?
I'm gonna say Spider-Man because that's the only one I really know about, and it's Spider-Man, so that's mine.
All right, to me. Kingdom Hearts.
I'm not much of a gamer. I've been replaying Kingdom Hearts 1 like all summer, so my most anticipated game is
I support you in that.
Kingdom Hearts 3 is only my most
I would
anticipated.
like to remind you
if it ever comes out.
that literally A Square Enix executive said that game is going to come out sometime
in the next 3 years. Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
But
And
the
when they showed
trailer,
a trailer, that was an updated version of a trailer they've already shown.
but that trailer was gorgeous, and Sora looks OP as heck.
Okay.
So I got super excited.
you know what?
I'm
I support
excited.
you.
I'm excited for the gameplay on that game to see if they've improved it from Kingdom Hearts 2, because Kingdom Hearts 2's gameplay was like pretty awesome. But also like the new moves that Sora has are ridiculous, but they're awesome because it's a Disney game. I'm also excited about what new worlds they've added, since it's, Disney.
Which they haven't said.
And I keep
have
feeling,
questions about that.
I
I do
keep
too.
feeling like maybe they're like, every time Disney comes out with a new movie, which is why it keeps getting delayed, they're like, oh man, now we gotta make a world for this one because this is too awesome. So now I'm like, okay, so do we have a Moana world now? Are we getting a Marvel world? Are we getting a Star Wars world? Or what's happening here? So,
Speaking
but also
of
they switched
Star Wars.
they switched systems as they were like in the middle of making the game, so that took a little bit longer.
You ruined my transition.
I'm sorry.
Do it anyway.
We're hoping for a Star Wars
Speaking
world.
of Star Wars, Battlefront.
I knew you were gonna say
Of
Battlefront.
course I'm going to say Battlefront. Are you kidding me?
Battlefront 2.
Did you see that trailer?
I didn't see the Battlefront 2. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just gonna buy it anyway.
But watch the trailer. No, because there's a story mode in this one, and it looks awesome.
I'm just gonna buy it anyway. I don't need.
Oh my gosh, what is her name? I gotta look up the
I mean,
chick's name.
I didn't need a trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 either, but that's just I watched it because I may never get that game.
No, but I'm telling you, it looks like a movie trailer. First of all, this is just a small little thing, but apparently you can fight on a tauntaun. There was some tauntaun action in this trailer, and I was like, I can't believe I never realized how much I wanted this before now. You just see it's a quick shot of a stormtrooper just standing there, and just a tauntaun just rams him out of frame.
That's usually what happens in the Star Wars universe. You don't realize you wanted it until it happens.
Like Ron Howard directing Han Solo. I'm just saying. Listen, you guys have the Kingdom Hearts conversation. We're having the Battlefront
Neither of
conversation.
them know what a tauntaun is.
Is that
I'm
the
very
thing that they
sad.
ride on?
It's the big goat lizard thing.
Cool, sure.
It's
Whatever.
the thing that
that.
they cut open and put Luke
I
Skywalker
thought
in.
they smelled
I
bad
remember
on
that.
the outside.
Space camel. Got it.
Yes,
Uneducated heathens.
It's a snow camel.
Is it a camel? It's more like a lizard thing. It's like a dinosaur.
I gotta agree
With
with him.
fur.
I think it looks more like a camel.
Well,
Well, dinosaurs apparently had feathers, so.
Janina Gavankar
What?
Is the
is the actress. Sorry, that's the actress. That's a real person's name. Eden Versio is the character's name.
that sounds
she's-
like an off-brand gin or so.
I was thinking
It kind of
that.
does, doesn't
It
it?
does.
Does sound like Jenner.
Point is, she plays an Imperial, which already has me intrigued, who's on Endor when the Death Star explodes. And it's kind of up to her. She's a member of, like, the special forces of the Stormtroopers. Badass black and red armor.
Dope.
It's great. You see the Death Star explode from her point of view on Endor, and there's this moment where everybody just stops. And she
I would
takes off
too.
her helmet, and you just hear, like, her, I don't know, some other Stormtrooper, like, Commander, what do we do? And it's like, yeah, what do you do? At some point, you see, like, a hologram of Palpatine, presumably given, like, his last instructions or whatever, in the event of my death. Here's what you're going to do. Something. I don't know.
The creation of the first
But I
order.
cannot wait. And it seems like, unlike Thane and Sienna in the Lost Stars book, who were good people who just were fighting
part
for
of
the
the
Empire,
Emperor.
she seems like she's a full-on Imperial. There's a scene where she's talking about the rebels, like, hope will not save them. We will get revenge for our Emperor.
So
I
we're-
cannot wait to follow her
So
story.
we're doing like a Star Killer type of thing, where Star Killer was for
Kind of.
sure bad,
Was
but
he?
it was
He was damaged.
bad. Oh, I'm sorry, he was damaged, but he was.
But she,
bad.
like, actually full-on believes in the cause of the Empire, and I can't wait to see this story. I guess her dad is, like, a big-time Imperial or whatever. So we're going to see, it's going to take us through the
opposite
original
of
trilogy,
so.
and then into the time in between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens, filling in that
Yeah,
role.
so like I said, it's the
Can't
beginning of
wait.
the First Order.
And then there's just the gameplay, where we have all the eras finally coming into play. Original trilogy, prequel trilogy, some animated stuff, I guess. We're going to have some Rebels characters in
I'm
there.
hoping the gameplay is a little bit more like the original Battlefront games.
It seems like there will be. They got Naboo's in there. You can play as a battle droid for some reason.
Yeah, just like sniping people in the original.
Rey's
games,
in there.
so
Rey looks awesome.
I'm sure she does.
Because I wasn't too happy with how Luke, Han, and Leia looked in the first Battlefront. Rey looks like Daisy Ridley. Anyway, this is a game called Star Wars, and it takes place in space with magic lizards.
and there are wars in this
There are
space.
wars in
the
space.
stars.
I gather.
Actually, there's like really one war taking place amongst multiple stars. So it should be
There-
called Stars War.
There are like 3 wars among the same
It's
factions of people.
all the same war. It's just extended throughout.
With like the Kree and the Stay on dark.
Yeah.
No?
Just don't engage.
Basically.
Damage will be here on
Stay on target.
Stay on target.
I don't understand.
Don't give us an opportunity to make Star Wars references when we're talking about Star Wars.
Whole goddamn night.
All right, what's
Game of Thrones.
I don't know what
Game of Thrones.
Alright,
Yeah.
Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Colin, join
Game
in.
of Thrones.
I'm not.
Game of Thrones.
Join in. Colin, join in. Colin, join in. Colin doesn't like to join in on anything fun that me and Jessica
Colin doesn't like fun.
when we're being outrageous.
Colin, Game of Thrones.
I think Colin's just started off on Game of Thrones because he was the person who was the first person among us who was a fan of Game of Thrones.
True.
He read the books and he watched the show.
I didn't get into it
I
until
mean, I watched the show
Red Wedding.
when the first season, I think it just finished. And I saw a gift set of Daenerys eating a heart, and I wanted to know what it was. I had to go back
Nicely done.
through the notes and find out what it was. I was like, I don't know what this is, but I'm interested.
I heart this.
I've read the
Nice.
books. Most
He
of
did
them,
it.
I think the first 3 I've read once. The 4 and 5 I read 2 or 3 times.
Still need to read them.
And
Wait.
I'm waiting
time
for
out,
the
time
end of
out.
this.
Your entrance into the show was seeing someone eat a heart?
It was literally a gift set of Daenerys eating a heart.
And
I
that
didn't
made
know
you
what it
want
was
to
from,
watch.
but I said, this looks interesting, and I want to
Colin
know
is
what it
that person.
Have you not met him?
You're like, Colin.
There's just so many things that, like...
Have you not met Duck McGuck?
Dude, you should have
I
heard him
know
when he was
Duck
talking about American Gods to us for the first time, and there was
Yeah.
we were like, what's happening on
We're
this
going to
show?
have a
watch that
conversation
show.
about
We're
that,
gonna
because
have
he
to.
likes it,
Yeah.
and...
I haven't watched it
I know
yet.
we gotta watch it.
Anyway,
okay.
there's a new trailer for Game of Thrones. They had a teaser earlier, but now they have an actual
Which was
trailer.
also awesome. The teaser was awesome.
It was. I actually kind of like the teaser a little bit more than this, but there's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a
There's
lot in this trailer, and it's kind of hard to unpack it all because a lot of it you just have to kind of know what it is. Like locations like Dragonstone. I didn't know that Dragonstone was in this trailer until I read something saying, "Hey, Dragonstone."
Well, you
is in
see
this trailer."
her caressing the map that Stannis was caressing before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. It's easier with the books because they tell you what it is, but the show, I feel like it's hard sometimes to know what a location is unless I actually know what it is. And Dragonstone, they've only been there like 3 times. Dragonstone is not terribly important right now.
Game of
No,
Thrones is
but
a
it
hard
does have a
con.
very
Game of
obvious
Thrones has
map
a lot of details to
engraved into a
remember.
table.
Yeah, I
It's a
usually
lot.
focus on the people and not the places because that's easier.
Speaking of people and small details that you probably don't notice the first time, my favorite shot in this trailer is not one of the obvious ones. It's actually a very quick shot where you see Lannister archers and they have their arrows up and then they go as one and point to the sky. That made me so excited. They gotta be pointing at
I
dragons.
did, yeah, so, oh.
I mean, what else are they pointing at? What's
I mean, they could be pulling a Greek army type of thing.
maybe they're
like,
just shooting
it
very
is-
far.
I feel
up.
like you wouldn't put that in the trailer if they were just shooting up to arc it down.
You never know, it's a trailer.
Yeah, but that's something every army and every medieval movie does, and so
That's-
that wouldn't
that's
be
a
very
good point.
interesting. If
What,
you
shoot up?
they
It's no
can
longer my
shoot
favorite shot.
dragons.
Thank you, Colin.
I mean, it's a great shot.
Very
I
excited.
feel like it's dragons. They showed
It's
a good
gotta be
amount of
dragons.
dragons.
They showed it, they did show a
So
good amount of
Dragonstone,
dragons.
whatever that is.
Which makes sense because if we follow the way the books are going, people have to ride those dragons
And
by
it's-
the end of this series.
And it's time for Dany
there-
to finally make her way over to Westeros.
Is there any doubt that those 3 people are Dany, Jon, and Tyrion at this point?
I'm starting to doubt. Well,
Not at this point.
in this season, I'm doubting Jon, just because Jon is over the wall at the moment.
There is in this season, I will give you that. But
Oh, I
by
don't
the
think it's
end
gonna
of
happen
the
in this season.
series-
Oh, you think it's gonna happen?
But I'm just saying at this point,
Final
we have
season?
doubt that those are the 3.
Oh no,
No, those are absolutely the riders of the
Right.
dragons, and
Yeah,
that's
no.
fine. Like they're
one from each house. That makes sense. Yeah.
Or, I mean, they could all be Targaryens, depending on which fan theories you subscribe to.
So here's
Who's the third Targaryen that we're?
Tyrion could also
there
be.
is a long theory that goes into that.
Oh, that
which
Tyrion's a Targaryen.
we don't have time to go into.
Oh, you know what? I think
Long story short, it could be that he's not.
he's not a Lannister.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I can believe that.
Yeah.
I mean,
it
I
fits.
think that was actually a good thing to go off of. That, I mean, Dallas can also get into just visually. What was your favorite shot in the trailer? Like, regardless of what you know about Game of Thrones, did you see something in particular that stood out?
I saw dragons.
And there you go. That's all you need.
I also saw a guy who looks like a Mortal Kombat character.
Flaming sword. Barrack.
That
No.
is
Not flaming
He
sword?
didn't have a flaming sword.
What are you talking about
The
then?
guy with a mask. It was like a arm
the Unsullied.
helmet.
That was
Oh yeah, that was
Grey Worm.
Grey Worm. I love Grey
Yes.
Worm.
He's okay.
He's one of my
like him.
favorites.
I think he's okay.
I'd like to point out that in not this trailer, but the trailer before, apparently he and
Missandei?
Missandei?
get it on?
I mean, that's been a long
We don't have
time
to think about the
coming.
mechanics of that.
But
Let's
That's the
not.
thing, the mechanics of that.
Let's not go into that.
Yeah, she doesn't have a penis.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Because
No.
not chopped.
That we don't know.
Well,
Well, that was a question that was brought up, wasn't it? She did ask how much of it is gone.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
no, let's get into that.
I feel like
I don't want to get into
they're
that.
gonna get into it.
He's going to get into that.
Listen,
Is he though?
listen, listen.
Yeah, his hands are...
This has been a long time coming, so
He has it.
All right, moving on.
No, Colin. This is
It's
important.
gonna be that long time though.
What was your favorite shot from the trailer?
anything with Daenerys Targaryen, because
Alright.
I love Dany. Also, I did love
Dany.
the last dragon shot
With
of
the mouth?
the
The mouth?
super close up of the
Oh,
mouth.
yes,
that was good.
That was
That
good.
was beautiful, and it's just like I think that was the only time where I literally had like an audible reaction. Like I was like, "Oh my god, that's awesome!" Like
Smile.
that's
just
so
can't
cool.
wait.
I'm assuming that's Drogon.
It had
he's
Drogon's
the
the only
black guy.
dragon that matters.
Since Drogon's the favorite, that's the favorite.
He is the only dragon that
Valerians
matters.
Don't matter.
The other
So,
two are bleh.
literally.
Yeah, those are not her favorite children.
Is Dany the chick from Terminator Genesis?
Yes.
Yes,
Why? Why?
We don't talk about that.
That's one a good movie.
I-
Either that or I think Me Before You. And I
Yeah,
You would have been better.
I didn't see that movie.
But she was in it.
the funny thing is,
I was guessing.
I think it's funny that the three of us would prefer a Me Before You reference than a
It
Terminator.
was a decent movie.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Genesis
Yeah.
was not.
Yes.
So yes, that's her.
Yes,
Yes,
that
it
is her.
is.
That is Sarah Connor. She wasn't bad as Sarah Connor. She was
No,
fine.
she wasn't bad at Sarah Connor.
Just Sarah
I-
Connor was bad in that movie.
That movie.
Yeah,
really
she was
does
fine.
not
She
good.
was not good. But the movie's not good. So.
Game of Thrones is. You should watch.
You should watch. I feel like that's something we should do as
Only
well.
have the
I've
entire show to catch
tried.
up on.
I've tried. It's difficult to get through some of the.
You just have to learn names. Once you learn names, you're good.
It did take me a couple
Honestly,
seasons
just
to learn.
like-
I remember because when you were watching it, we were
It
texting.
starts with incest.
I mean, yeah.
And child attempted murder.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
That
a
child
lot.
does get pushed out of
That's
his
quite a
house.
hill to.
It's not
to get
child murder. He's
Attempted
fine.
child murder.
Yeah, but he's fine.
I did like the shot of him working.
I don't care. Bran sucks.
No, I did like the shot of him working. Bran sucks unless he's
One of my
working.
least favorite now.
He's
Fine.
See, even
Working.
then, he
That's
doesn't
when
do
he
enough of that.
he goes into the minds of animals and
He goes
or
into, like,
giant people.
no.
Yeah, he can do that.
What?
All of the Starks can do that to a certain extent.
All of them?
Yes.
They can go into their mind.
How well they do it, if they know that they're doing it, we don't know, but they can all do it.
Right, I've heard rumors that Jon Snow does that with ghosts.
With Ghost.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I've heard that. one.
Yeah.
Is Ghost a name or is Ghost
So
a ghost?
his
Ghost is his
wolf.
pet.
Dire wolf. Giant wolf that obeys his commands.
And I think it's also the only one still living.
Occasionally
No,
comes out to help him fight in
yeah,
battles
she's
whenever
still
the
alive.
budget
Oh, is Arya still
allows.
alive?
Yes, because
Nice.
remember, she sets it free.
As far as we know, though.
course.
Runs off.
She's
and
gone.
Of
somewhere.
course, Jon and Arya are still alive out of all the siblings.
Okay, but Ghost is the only one still around.
And relevant.
Does Ghost look like Wolf from Young Justice?
Yes, he
Yeah,
does.
I keep saying that.
Yeah.
When he showed up
Yes.
in Young Justice, I was like, that's Ghost.
It's Ghost.
Nice.
But except Ghost has red eyes, right?
Yes.
Yes, he does.
I'm just going to
Glowing
take
red
a
eyes.
moment
That's
to say
great.
that I think my favorite shot is probably Beric Dondarrion wielding a flaming
A
sword.
flaming
I'm just
sword.
happy the Brotherhood of Banners is coming
Because
back.
the Brotherhood is tied to a plot point in the books that the show hasn't done, and I don't think they will ever do.
Lord of Light?
Well, yes, but I can't really get into it. But there's a
Okay.
very specific character who has been around and then leaves and then comes back with the Brotherhood without banners. Whether or not they do that is fine. But he's wielding a flaming sword, which I don't know if he set it on fire or if it set itself on fire. But if it set itself on fire, then that kind of implies that he's actually, like, his god may actually exist.
Well, I
Is
feel like
blessing him.
that's the implication throughout the series, is that if any of these gods are real, the Lord of Light is the one that's real.
No. See, I would disagree with that because Melisandre has always been proven. She's gotten some
How's
stuff
she
right.
know? Because
and
the
then
leeches
this
worked.
last season, she fell down hard.
She
Right,
did
but,
fall down.
but,
hard.
but that,
One thing
from
she
her
did was bring
perspective,
Jon back.
but you could also see maybe just Jon is the king who was promised.
The prince who was promised.
Prince
I
who was
mean,
promised.
yeah, she did see him.
I mean, I feel like that's what she's eventually going to decide anyway. I just had the wrong guy. But remember, the leeches worked. The
Okay,
leeches
that's
got all her
all
enemies. Obviously, there was a...
correlation and causation.
Fine, but I'm just saying. Anyway, I'm excited.
I'm
Game of
super
Thrones.
excited.
Those dragon effects are better than Jurassic World's dinosaur effects. Speaking of,
Your segue.
that's my segue
Cool.
to Jurassic World 2. We have our first look at that movie as well. We have a title.
And we have a poster that.
We have a
I mean, the
yeah,
poster
it's
looks like
tagline.
every other
And the
poster.
it's
poster's
the
just-
Jurassic World
the
logo
title.
with sparks.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's
So
basically
it's-
the same as the original Jurassic World teaser poster,
Yeah, but with sparks.
It's
sparks
Jurassic
and a different
World
tagline.
2? Do they call Jurassic World 2?
Yeah,
Jurassic
Jurassic
World
World.
It's
Fallen
just
Kingdom.
called Jurassic World Fallen
Okay,
Kingdom.
I was
Yeah,
Fallen
but it's
Kingdom.
technically Jurassic World 2.
Life
Jurassic World
finds a way.
Kingdom.
You did the thing.
Don't
So-
do the thing. Everybody else has done the thing.
It's a good thing.
It's too late.
What? I'm confused.
Mm-hmm.
What
sounded like
is
Goldblum.
this kingdom? Is it the animal kingdom? Is it
Well,
the kingdom that
the
humans
dinosaur
create?
That's
kingdom,
what I'm
I'm
intrigued
assuming.
about. But it could be.
mean?
It could be. It
The
could mean
animal
R. Maybe it's a dinosaur apocalypse movie. We don't know.
What's the
What?
dinosaur?
Dinosaurs get loose.
The
and
kingdom is
everybody-
probably Jurassic World.
I feel like
Like
it's
the park
Jurassic World.
itself?
Yeah,
Well,
See,
okay.
when I read the tagline, I was like, oh, so maybe the park is closed down and life finds a way to
Here's
bring
the
all the
thing.
dinosaurs back.
They
that's Jurassic Park
named
2.
this series Jurassic World. If at some point in this series dinosaurs don't cover the entire world, I'm gonna be a little upset.
Well, what's
I'm
the name of
The name of the
park?
park is Jurassic World.
Exactly. But I
Right,
feel like
but-
they gave it that name so that they could have dinosaurs go over the entire world, and we'd all accept it because they already named it Jurassic World.
Remember Wilson
Maybe.
Fisk's subplot from Jurassic World 1 where he wanted to
I-
release the dinosaurs
In the
as a-
military?
In the military, yeah.
Well, that's.
It was so
I
silly.
think that was teased at this week actually.
Wait, what?
I think that was actually teased at.
Are we gonna
that
get-
they're going to that the military is now using dinosaurs.
Velociraptors.
They went with that? They kept going with that?
Apparently, I didn't hear this.
I'm
eaten.
gonna look it up. I'm pretty
Here's
sure
the
that's what
thing.
was said.
When
It
I
wasn't his
Jurassic
plan.
World
It was
1.
the government's plan.
I always thought it was his plan.
I feel like see, when I saw Jurassic World, I thought it was kind of a little too silly.
Yes.
But here's the thing: if you tell me, all right, they have Velociraptor soldiers in the military, at this point we're going so off the deep end that I'm back on board.
Do you think this is going to be their Fast Five?
I
No,
want
no, no.
Velociraptors.
No.
Things.
I don't think it's their Fast Five because one, this is J.A. Bayona directing. Did anybody here see Monster Calls?
No, I don't think
Great
anybody
movie.
saw Monster Calls.
The Orphanage.
Nope.
No.
Wait. Is that like the foreign orphanage?
Yes, the Spanish one.
Spanish?
Oh,
Yeah,
I've
that's
seen,
from that
I've
movie.
seen
Great
parts
movie, right?
of that
That's
movie.
good.
If that guy is making this movie, and from everything we've heard, this is supposed to be a darker, scarier, more horror-driven story,
true, they had
similar
like
to the
darker-
first Jurassic Park or even the second Jurassic Park,
First one
which had
is-
horror elements.
Yeah,
in
Is
it.
that the
first
one,
one
with the
Nothing to the
talking?
Langras.
Is that the one with the talking raptor?
That's the third one. We don't talk about that.
Oh, good. But that's the one with the gymnastics where she kicks the
The second one's the one, yeah, fine.
Out of the window.
But Jurassic World 2, not a great movie, but it had its moments.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, as far as scary factor, it was scarier than the series has been since then.
All right, so I found the quote that I was
Cool.
talking about the animal, like the military stuff, and what Trevorrow said is the dinosaurs
Trevorrow.
will be whatever. There
I
is
don't
no A
I have no
before
idea.
that R. The dinosaurs will be a parable of the treatment animals receive today, the abuse, medical experimentation, pets, having wild animals in zoos like prisons, the use the military has made of them, animals as weapons.
So we're going to have a Harambe-osaurus in this movie?
That's so rude. God, we're not gonna bring Harambe back.
Harambe the dinosaur.
Yeah, but that's where the military using them as the dinosaurs comes in.
Is this movie gonna be like funded by PETA? Like, it feels like it might. Like they want it to be darker and scarier, but also it's a parable of don't mistreat animals.
Every Jurassic Park movie has been a parable except for Jurassic Park 3, which was just don't go hiking, I guess was the message of that movie. Marriage sucks.
But I mean, these parables are like, hey, don't mess with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Well, no, but the first one
Don't mess
was...
with science.
The first one was all about hubris and playing God. The second one was an environmental message. And then Jurassic World was kind of, again, also about hubris and playing God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park 3 was about divorce. I don't know. So I guess this one's about animal cruelty. I'm okay with a Jurassic Park movie having a parable, especially if Jeff Goldblum is there to explain the message of the movie to us. I'm fine with it.
Which Jeff Goldblum will
Yeah.
be there to explain the message of the movie to us.
I'm down.
So-
I'm with
Peter
it.
was so interested in whether or not they could. I didn't have to think about whether or not they should.
It's going to be the military.
Don't protect the
I guess.
dinosaurs. What are you talking about?
I just think
Army finds a way.
this
Be all
feels
you
like
can be.
this feels like their Fast Five. If they're going to do the Raptors in the military,
I don't
thing.
want Fast Five. I feel like
I
that's what
don't
Jurassic
either.
World was trying to be. Was trying to take it in a
I don't
sillier
think so,
direction. We're gonna
because
be more goofy and
that
fun.
was just, hey, what if the park actually opened?
No, but I'm saying tone-wise.
But
Tone-wise is like in this
Oh
movie.
no. When I say Fast Five, I mean, remember all the things that you thought we might do, but we thought that's too ridiculous. We're actually gonna do
Oh,
it.
okay.
Like remember when that guy was talking about using raptors in the army,
And we were like,
and you were like, "That's stupid." Now we're gonna do it.
I was okay with it because it was Vincent D'Onofrio saying it.
Right, but now he's dead. So like, who's gonna do it?
Yeah.
B.D. Wong,
The military.
I want BD Wong back.
Dr. Frankenstein.
They're rumoring that he is back.
I hope he's back.
What I don't want, I don't want
Please.
any more super dinosaurs. I didn't like the Spinosaurus. I didn't like the Indominus Rex. Take it back to when they were real animals.
Real
Real
dinosaurs.
animals.
No, but that's what I'm saying. In the first Jurassic Park and even in the second one, you believe At least until he's running around Hong Kong or whatever at the end. San Francisco.
Are we
San
talking
Diego.
Arrow?
You believe that they are real animals. Like they spent a lot of time making them feel real. You can believe that this is what this dinosaur would look like, this is what it would act like. We get to Jurassic Park 3 and 4, and now they're super monsters. I don't want that anymore.
You want them to be actual
I
dinosaurs,
want them
which
to
is
feel more
scary
real.
enough.
They're scarier. They're scarier that way.
I mean, they were, but here's the thing: like, we've seen enough movies about dinosaurs to the point where a Tyrannosaurus is not.
We've seen so many T-Rex movies where the T-Rex is the bad guy.
It's not.
No, but we don't need
It's
to
not
do that. You
anymore.
can fine make up if you want to do like Spinosaurus. They did fine. Do Spinosaurus,
Or the
but
Indominus.
don't make the Spinosaurus. Don't do the Indominus. That was stupid.
like
I
that.
don't want a cuttlefish dinosaur. Point is, I don't want
Cuttlefish.
He said he was a cuttlefish. He was a part cuttlefish.
He's a
guy.
part cuttlefish. It's a part of his
But
genetics.
the Spinosaurus, okay, that's a real dinosaur that existed. Fine. You want to bring in a new, bigger, badder dinosaur? That's fine. But like, when you turn him into a cartoon villain, he kind of loses some of his scariness. When he's like flipping over boats and busting through walls, and he doesn't get a scratch on him, I'm like, then it loses some of that
I
tangibility.
don't
to
think
me.
it does because it's like it's a monster movie now.
That's what I'm saying. I don't like my Jurassic Park
Monsters
movies
are
as a
scary.
monster movie. The first one was kind of a monster movie just because it had dinosaurs in it.
Right.
But for the most part, it's not a monster
The
movie.
thing about it is, I feel like what's scary about Jurassic Park is we are recreating creatures that existed, and we didn't have to deal with them, thank God. And now we have brought them back, and wow, that was a bad thing to do.
And
I
yet
feel
we
like
keep
if
doing
we
it.
already have that, and we already know that was a terrible idea, now we're gonna take that and modify it and make it much scarier. Like, why? feel
I
like
mean,
that
the
makes
movie
it-
had a decent reason as to why they were doing it.
Why,
'Cause
what
they
was the
could.
reason?
The reason, it wasn't that they could. The reason in Jurassic World was because they were losing guests at their park, and they were like, they're not being as scared or as intrigued
Honestly,
anymore.
I
We
think-
need something new.
I think a lot of that whole conversation in the movie might just be referencing to the audience for the movies because they're like,
Oh, yeah, they're
people have
getting
seen
bored.
this. They're bored. They want bigger. They want scarier. They want more teeth. Like,
And that's what they did.
if you wanted accuracy, these dinosaurs wouldn't look like they do, which applies to the first movie.
Which is
Raptors don't look like that.
I'm just talking about as far as tone wise. I don't want it to go funny and ridiculous. I want it to go back to when it was
He wants something
more realistic
scary
and
dark.
believable.
Right, but I'm just saying,
Just
as
more
far as
believable.
if you have a genetically modified dinosaur, you can keep the tone. You don't have to be funny about it because
I guess if
There's
they,
nothing
can
funny
sell me
about
on a,
that
if,
dinosaur.
if they can sell me on a genetically modified dinosaur, well, I guess they're all genetically modified dinosaurs. So
right there.
if they can sell me on the Indominus, if the Indominus Rex shows up, I'm like, I believe that thing exists, which I never did with the Indominus.
Right, which they
Just
didn't want
because
to.
A, the design, B, the CGI was just not very good on that dinosaur. C, the characteristics of the dinosaur were not believable. It
Would
didn't
you-
act like a
would you prefer-
any
It can
creature.
camouflage.
It can camouflage!
But you know, that thing turned
the
invisible.
whale, the whale dinosaur. That
No, even that one was just like, I'm just gonna show up to help you guys out, bros. He shows up at the end and bites, and then the two dinosaurs look at each other and bro nod each other. Like, no.
that was really weird though.
No.
Dinosaurs bro nod? How did they know
I
this?
got you. I got
They've
you
been
too, bro.
They've been
No.
watching their audience so much.
That's what I'm saying. Like the first one, the T-Rex was like, I'm gonna eat you now.
That's,
Yeah, that works.
that's what's gonna happen.
That's why the first one's great. Also,
Rex.
the characters, because same problem I have with the dinosaurs I have with the characters.
Really?
In the first one, these were real people that you believed, that felt real, and in the Jurassic World, they are cartoon characters.
But I love Pratt and Howard's characters.
They were cartoon
I
characters.
didn't care much for
I don't
Howard's
like Bryce
character.
Dallas Howard. I don't
I
like.
like-
I like her as an
Bryce
actress,
Dallas
but her character, she was just
I liked her
a
character.
negligent aunt.
She was so.
But the kids were
generic
stupid.
and-
I mean,
That's the problem
Yeah,
because
the kids are
like
stupid.
I don't want to have more stupid kids just being
more
stupid kids because
Well, this one apparently has a kid because there's that little girl whose identity we still don't know in
And
the very
nobody
first
has
image.
announced who the cast for that is.
Yeah.
That's even involved in the movie.
Apparently, she is in the movie. But they
Oh.
just haven't announced who she is or who's playing her.
Yeah,
just don't make her stupid.
It's kids. Kids are stupid.
kids are stupid.
They don't have to be.
They don't have to be. I don't
Be
know.
more like Isabel Monet.
I liked.
Yeah, just have the kid disappear halfway through the movie. And
I'm
we're
gonna
fine.
stay. I'm gonna fight them.
No, we're not going back
Fight
to
the
that.
dinosaurs.
Fight the dinosaurs.
The
The
dinosaurs.
Dinobots.
Easier.
Grimlock. That was it?
Grimlock.
Dinosaurs would be easier to fight than Transformers.
I would imagine so. I can shoot a dinosaur. A bullet's gonna do something. What's a bullet gonna do against a giant metal T-Rex?
I don't. You need a missile launcher for that one.
Even that, there's like, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked both of. I liked Bryce Dallas Howard in the movie, and I did like Chris Pratt.
I
in
want
the
an
movie.
R-rated Jurassic
I would
Park.
like more.
I don't.
Yeah, I do. Why
I
not?
like more complexity from them.
Yeah, more complexity. Why can't we have an R-rated?
I mean, you can, but it's just gonna be.
That would be frightening.
It's just gonna be cussing more, and it's gonna be bloodier when somebody
No,
gets
it could
eaten.
just be scary.
It would just be bloodier.
Because
Conjuring is rated R, and there's no cussing and almost no blood in that entire movie. It's rated R just for pure
first
scariness.
Conjuring
The
is
first
rated R?
Conjuring, yeah.
It's, for frightening images, most likely.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's no blood, there's no cussing, there's no sex.
I'm gonna scar you for life.
Yeah, but they're going to scare you for life. You can do that with Jurassic Park.
I mean-
Speaking of R-rated movies,
what? Oh,
He said what?
get something personal out there. We're done with the news for the week.
That sounds weird.
Yeah, let's go really
Talk
deep and
about our
personal,
feelings.
guys.
Okay.
What was your first R-rated movie? Ever?
Okay. Are we starting with me or? Is that...
Sure. You volunteered.
I'm pretty certain if we're going with not in theaters, I'm pretty sure the first rated R movie that I ever saw was The Matrix,
Nice.
and I'm pretty sure it was that one because my parents had not like a strict rule about me watching rated R movies, but they had made it pretty clear that they didn't want me watching them until I was, at a.
Older. How old were you when you
age?
saw it?
I want to say I was about 13 or 14.
wow.
And the reason why is because for some reason I couldn't watch other rated R movies, but they were cool with me watching The Matrix.
Because it's The Matrix.
And I was like, no, at first I was like, nah, I think I'm going to wait a little while, because you guys don't like me watching rated R movies. And
That was
then
nice of you.
I was a good child, what can I say? And then I hit a certain age and was like, I'm just going to check out The Matrix. And it was like one of the
So is this
things.
after the sequels were already out?
Yeah, so I watched them back to back.
It would have been. I'm sorry. That was your first experience with The Matrix.
You know what the
With
funny thing is?
Matrix
The
was a
funny thing
sequel.
is, I don't have a problem with 2 and 3. It's kind of like the Star Wars prequels for me, where because I watched them back to back, it was kind of like, well, except the Star Wars prequels, I saw them all in theaters. But with The Matrix,
I did too.
The Matrix, because I watched them back to back and I was at a certain age, I liked all of them. So I would probably have to go back and rewatch the Matrix movies for me to dislike the second and third.
I will say The Matrix 2 has probably the greatest chase scene of all time. That freeway scene is fantastic.
We'll see how that goes once Baby Driver comes out.
Hopefully. Hopefully. Colin?
Maybe.
Ball and shot, Colin?
Not sure, but it might also have been The Matrix. It wouldn't surprise me if it was, just
Okay.
because
It's the Matrix.
yeah, and it's like sci-fi, and my parents knew I liked sci-fi, so this was like, if we're gonna see a rated R movie, this was not like a bad one.
It's not a stretch.
Yeah, and it's not like it's got gratuitous sex or anything, so it's
That's
like
the second one.
yeah. But as far as R-rated
even
movies
remember
go, it's a good one to dip your toe into.
Yeah.
The first one I remember seeing was actually in theaters, and this is weird because, like you, my parents didn't want me watching rated R movies.
Yeah.
And I think one day they couldn't find anybody to watch me or something because I ended up watching Bad Boys 2.
Oh, nice.
I was 11 when
That's
that
a good
movie
one.
came out.
That's a good Michael Bay movie.
It is. And I want him to come
And-
back and do 3.
I don't know how I ended up there. I didn't know anything about Bad Boys. I knew Will Smith was Fresh Prince.
Nice.
And I was shocked.
Wait, was this the first one or the
The
second?
second one, Bad Boys 2.
Oh, and the second one's not even as good as the first.
I think the second one's better.
I love the second one,
It's
but like,
stupider and dumber and just in all the ways, like filmmaking rules-wise, it's worse. But that makes it better.
it's so much fun.
I'm just trying to picture in your head that transition between Fresh Prince Will
Yeah.
Smith and
Hey,
Bad
Bad
Boys
Boys.
Will
He just
Smith.
shows up and he's just shooting people and just cussing up a storm.
Yes.
And I was just kind of looking like, what am I doing here? And like, I had fun, but there are certain points where I was just like, I know I'm not supposed to be
I'm
watching
not
this.
supposed to be watching this
This is
movie.
not for me. Also, this was like the summer after 6th grade for me. And, or between 5th and 6th or something like that. And I had just done a family history project in one of my
Okay.
classes.
I remember those projects.
You'll see what I'm
I'm
going.
curious as to where this goes.
And I found out I was Haitian.
Okay.
And the next movie I think I saw was Bad Boys 2. And they're just killing Haitians the whole movie. And I've never seen any Haitian anybody in any movie before. I was like, I'm Haitian, what is that? And they're like, it's Haiti, it's in the Caribbean. I was
It's
like,
the
oh,
people at
cool.
the other end of Will Smith's gun.
Yes. And then I see the movie and
Those are
they're
your
like, oh,
people.
there's some Haitians dealing drugs. And I was like, what? There are Haitians in this movie? I've never seen Haitians in any movie.
You hating on the Haitians.
And then
They
they just get shot in the face. I was like, wait, what? I was like, what's going on? This is too much for me right now.
Wow.
And yeah, that was.
Scar? Was that a scar?
So we got shot in the face. I saw some titties. There were drugs.
There's no titties. Is there titties? in
There are
Bad Boys?
titties.
There might be in Bad
Wow.
Boys.
They're the dead woman when they're in the morgue.
That's Bad Boys 1.
No.
Is that 2?
They're in the morgue and Martin Lawrence takes ecstasy on
That's
accident.
right. Yeah.
And
I remember the
they're
scene.
hiding.
I just.
And he hides in the Yeah, the titties.
Wow.
And yeah, that was
Forgot about that.
That was an experience. I just walked out of that like, what's going on? Now it's summer camp the next day. I was like, dude, you're not gonna do what I just saw.
Was that your first nudity experience in a movie?
It had to be.
Dead boobies were the first movies we ever saw.
Dead boobies.
Wow.
I was such a good
That
kid.
explains so much.
I instinctively covered my eyes because I was like, wait, I'm
At
not.
that age, yeah, you're still programmed.
I was like, no. My mom looked at me to make sure I was covering my eyes.
What's funny is that you said that, and I went to a party before I'd seen The Matrix, and I went to this party, and they turned on Freddy vs. Jason.
Oh, man.
And I was such a good kid, I literally turned my back to the TV screen the entire time we were watching that movie.
I've done that.
Which, I mean, it was a horror movie anyway, so I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it.
Is it really, though? Is it?
I don't know.
You didn't watch it?
I didn't watch it. I listened to it. I didn't watch it.
It's not that good.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, I was that kid too.
Bad Boys 2.
Mine was Terminator 2. I remember we were scrolling through.
Oh, I have to take it back. Terminator 2 is
Really?
the one. Yes.
Well, then.
It's Terminator 2. My friend brought it.
Okay, I'm wondering. I don't know if it counts because I saw it on TV.
I saw it.
So it wasn't the R-rated version.
I
Oh,
think
I
that
watched
counts.
it on DVD.
Does it not count?
It probably doesn't. Not if you saw it on like TBS. It's not
Well, then
even
The Matrix.
R-rated.
That's my first R-rated movie.
Mine is the Terminator. I was 10. I had invited a friend to spend the night, and we were watching it in my car because we had a screen and a
Oh, nice.
PlayStation in the car. So we were watching the DVD. So I was watching it straight up. Just I forgot. Yeah, Terminator 2
Terminator
is
2.
actually the
I remember,
first movie I've ever seen.
I was with my dad and we were scrolling through. This is back when you had to scroll through your TV channels to try to find something to watch. And we were scrolling, and I just see this like bubble of metal fire just appear. I was like, "Whoa, go back! What was that?" And my dad's like, "Oh, that's Terminator." I was like, "Can I watch it?" He goes, "Yeah." I remember there's the thing. So he goes back to the channel, and the bubble opens, and the very first thing I see is naked Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was like,
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Wow.
"Are you sure?" I go watch it. And my dad was like,
That's good.
I remember the look on his face. He was just like,
Maybe that's it.
"Yeah, no, yeah, we can watch. It's okay," because it was on TV.
What's funny is we ended up later on bonding over the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
We did, yeah, which is a
cool.
great show.
Which, yeah, we both
It-
agree
it
it's a
did.
great show.
It
Did not
got
last
canceled
long.
too soon.
Fox.
But yeah, I remember watching. I think that movie was probably very influential on me. Where I saw a movie about like a robot learning to be a man, and it was so deep. And then I remember like when he dies at the end, getting on. Spoiler alert for a 500-year-old movie. When he goes under the thumb, I was like, sci-fi is my jam. Like, that's probably when the spark was.
Star Wars was
that
when I discovered.
No, that's probably Star Wars,
Right.
but I don't have a first memory of seeing Star Wars because my dad just raised me on that. He was like, from the moment you had eyeballs, you're watching Star
I love
Wars.
the fact that I can remember that I was 9 years old when I fell in love with Star
And
Wars.
what was your first Star Wars movie?
There was the
Yeah.
first Star Wars
know what
movie
it was.
I ever saw was The Phantom Menace because we owned it on DVD, and then I didn't realize it was part of a series of movies, so I just used to turn it on and would watch it.
Episode
'cause-
1 didn't clue you in?
No, I wasn't reading
Right.
the
Just-
crawl before the movie started. I was just
She
watching.
didn't read it.
I didn't read it. Most people
guess.
don't read, don't read it until they get older.
Wasn't it?
I remember being confused as to why Star Wars started at Episode 4. And then Episode 1 came out. I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
I
okay,
saw
that's
The
weird.
Phantom Menace first. Yeah, it was already on DVD, and then my parents introduced me to the originals because I was like, "What is Star Wars?" So
Nice.
yeah, I was 9,
So,
8 or 9.
Matrix, Bad Boys 2, Terminator 2? Is that what we're going with?
Terminator 2. Yours is we're
Slash the
playing the
Matrix.
Oh, we're going
Matrix.
with the Matrix for me.
We're going to Matrix
Okay,
for
then the
you.
Matrix. I remember, okay.
You got
tell
the
story about that then.
PG-13
Yeah, you
version.
didn't tell the story.
I remember, well, that was not as interesting. It was literally just my dad going, I really want to show you The Matrix. He just really wanted me to watch it. And I remember, I actually remember him trying to show it to me when I was younger, but there was too much cussing, so he turned it off. He's like, no, we're going to watch.
Well,
I don't know,
wait
Barney or
until you're
something.
older.
But then a few years later, he popped it on. It was, I think it was probably once the sequel was announced. My dad heard about it. He's like, all right, you're old enough now. You can handle some bad words. So pop it in. I watched it. I was like, this is incredible. Am I real? Is this real? I was like the dentist kid. I was like, is this real life? Like, I came out of that movie just questioning my entire existence
Yeah,
in this world.
I like.
And I only wore, like, black with sunglasses
Oh,
for,
God.
like, 2 years
I
after
explained
that.
so much about you. I liked The Matrix so much. I ended up taking a philosophy of the Matrix course.
There's a lot of-
when I
yeah.
got into middle school. I still own a book that is just
Nice.
the philosophy of the Matrix.
I know I've asked you this before, but not on camera, so I'll ask you again. I forgot your answer anyway. What's the best action movie of all time, Terminator 2 or Die Hard?
Oh God.
You guys can jump into.
I haven't seen either of them, so I
God
can't
damn
answer
it,
that.
Colin.
Oh God, that's
Dallas?
so hard. I didn't see Die Hard until I was older too,
Same.
and I fell in love.
Same.
I haven't seen Die Hard.
My
I said Terminator 2.
Go on my shelf.
I own all 4
Yeah,
of
Die
them.
Hard and Terminator 2 are both of them.
I said I own all 4 of them, and I'm like, wait, there's 5.
There are only 2 Terminator movies. To me.
Are there,
I've seen
are
both
there,
of them.
wait, but are there... No, I'm not talking about
She's talking about
Terminator.
Die Hard.
There's only one Die Hard movie to me.
Really? You don't like Die Harder or Live Free Die
First of all, what's the name of that movie?
It's Die Harder.
No, I don't like Die Hard. No, actually, I don't mind the other. I definitely don't mind them as much as the other Terminator movies.
Yeah, because the other Terminator movies are bad.
Die Harder is fun.
Good.
Die Hard with a Vengeance is pretty good. Live Free or Die Hard's not good, and A Good Day to Die
What's
Hard.
funny is Live Free or Die Hard is what got me into Die Hard.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were way
What
older
was that?
then.
Yeah.
The fourth one. The one that came out in our lifetime.
The one with Justin Long, if
Yes.
anybody remembers who Justin Long is.
So wait, what was the one after that?
A Good Day to Die Hard. That's the one that
I've
came out
never
only a few
seen
years
it.
ago. Yeah.
I've never seen
With Jack Courtney.
That one's bad. Didn't like that.
I've met him. He's a nice person.
All right.
But
That's good.
I don't.
I'm glad I like
don't-
him in Suicide
I don't
Squad.
know. I like him in Suicide Squad. It's one of the few roles that I really enjoy him in.
I think it's the only good role he's ever had
Spartacus.
in movies.
Oh, okay. Spartacus.
Um,
He's great in Spartacus. Yeah, no. Which one's a better action movie? Die Hard's probably a better action movie.
Oh no.
The robots.
The robot. No, that's a legit.
And the shotgun. With the,
Well, also just the depth. Like, I know now why you cry, and like the depth. Terminator 2 is a deeper movie than Die
It is
Hard.
a deeper movie, but Die Hard is an action movie.
Terminator 2 has some of the best action sequences ever put to
But
screen.
Die Hard is... I don't know. That's a
Like
hard question.
liquid metal.
I've never actually thought about it.
All right, I'm gonna say Terminator 2, and with that, we are like way over time. So, start wrapping up.
I mean, it's
guess.
a podcast. Do we have an actual time limit, or are we just...
According to our producer, we do.
According to our producer, according to one of the guys on the hot seat over here, we don't.
So I came out of Bad Boys 2 questioning my existence for a different reason. I was like, am I a bad guy? Am I destined to
Haitian?
just sell drugs and
I
get
am
shot?
attracted to
That
dead
movie
women.
scarred.
No. Why did you do that? I did not want to see dead titties. I just...
He covered his eyes. Remember
covered
that's
my
how
eyes.
disgusted he was.
Yeah, I was like, dead titties. But yeah.
That's funny.
Did you come out of the Matrix questioning your existence?
He might.
I mean, as far as the Matrix goes, I don't think it scarred me just because that whole question of like, is this real or is this not? I don't care. I'm gonna live my life, and if it's real, if it's not real, I won't find out.
Oh, I was the
So-
kid who used to wonder if I was actually dreaming my whole life. So
Colin, were you a nihilist when you were 7?
he probably,
He probably
Were you
was.
just that
Well,
weird
it's not-
Nietzsche kid running around in second
It's
grade?
not that I
He
don't
didn't know it yet.
think
Are you a
matters
man or a
that
Superman?
nothing is real or that nothing is worth doing. I just feel like whether or not it's real, all I can do is live my life the way I want to live it. And if it's not real, that sucks. But I'm probably never gonna find out that it's not real.
I think we should end with that.
Is this the real life?
Not
Is
that.
this just fantasy?
Maybe
Our
that's
producer's gonna throw something at us if we don't end soon. So, I'm Jesse. You can find me on Twitter at thejester1138.
I'm Dallas. You can find me on Twitter at a king named Simba.
I'm Demi. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at Dreamy Films.
I'm Colin. You can find me on Twitter at DuckMcGuck.
Yeah, we've been the Reshoots. This has been Double Tap. Have fun out there, guys.